Yo, what's up guys? Another Warcraft 3 PTR update, build 19836, which we intend to be our final iteration on balance for 135. January 12th. Revive time factor reduced for, in general, from 0.65 to 0.6. So that's from the altar. So, time factor. Yeah, I don't know the exact formula actually. I just know it takes pretty long, but feels good that it takes long, I guess. So they say that before they wanted to make Tavern Revive more expensive, and then they rolled it back. So now they're thinking about making Altar just happen faster, which is still a nerf to Tavern Revive, but a buff to Altar Revive. Is this a good thing? Level 1 Revive is pretty fast, level 2 is acceptable, level 3 starts being pretty long, and yet we do it, of course. I've won games in Orc Mirror at the highest level after losing my Blade level 3, quote unquote stupidly. And it should be impossibly long in level 3 Blade. But I got back because I got high level Shadow Hunter and they didn't finish me off. Or they tried and they didn't have enough units because it was too early and they tried to finish me off. But anything over level 3 hero loss is usually GG unless you kill the same thing back. But that's really subjective. And based on my experience long time ago, I don't know the reason. I don't actually have much of an opinion on it. I don't know where it came from. Blademaster mirror images now give XP. So that's a feedback that I and some others had. If mirror images are going to be dealing damage, whether it's 10, 15 or 25%, they better give XP. And now they do. I don't know how much they have decided on, but I would imagine that it's going to be 20 XP per image. I think that's a good change. Mortar HP reverted from 380 to 360. I saw some feedback saying that they are mostly used against Night Elf and they're pretty good there already. So it's not needed because human-elf matchup is in a pretty good spot when it gets to that stage. Keeper of the Grove and Tangle duration. I think Save Orcas mentioned something about this. There was a big Save Orcas patch note address on Reddit. He has a good mind for the game. He's a Warcraft 3 avid viewer and a maths professor. He said Keeper of the Grove and Tangle was over-nerfed. And it should mostly address the tier 2 and the tier 3 upgrade for it. The level 2 and 3. Duration increased from 18 to 17. Not sure if they know what increased means. I'm being pedantic. I don't know what they meant here. Increase from 17 to 18 or decrease from 18 to 17.
Have a good evening.
Yo, you too, Zenit. Immolation initial mana cost reduced from 35 to 30. I saw a suggestion proposing 25. 35 I think is a lot. It makes it feel pretty bad to use, turning it on and off. You get kited a lot when you play Demon Hunter with Immolation. So with a high activation cost, you're incentivized to leave it on while you're running after someone, even if you're not actively dealing damage. Because you know that if you turn it off, it needs to be off for at least 7 seconds or so in order to save mana if you have to turn it on again afterwards. So with the old Immolation, it was 35 and 7 per second. So you needed a 7-second period. Actually, 5 seconds. You needed a 5-second period to be off in order for it to be worth it. If you used it off for 4 seconds, you actually end up spending more mana. So now, I think they made it cost 5 or 6, and the reactivation will be 30. So if it is 5, then it will be 6 seconds off. Right? 6 seconds off or more. So essentially that duration is even longer. You're more incentivized to leave it on simply because the per second cost is cheaper. Nonetheless, it still costs less for the first time you click it, or even the second time if you reactivate it. Okay. Then Frost Nova damage cap reverted. Mostly this was not going to do much on the ground. It was mostly an anti-air counter. And 1 second. 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 They proposed it. I guess not enough people liked it, so it's reverted. It was like you can only hit 8 or 12 units or something. Dark Ritual cooldown reduced from 25 to 20. It was 15 historically. So it went from 15 to 25 in a previous PTR nerf that is not yet live. Now it's going back to 20, which is a middle way. The mana return reduced. I feel like level 1 mana return doesn't need to be touched, but I feel like level 2 and 3 mana return were too good. They're gonna nerf this by 9%, which is fine, I guess. It will kind of mess up the early game maths, which is why I don't like it. Like, people are used to a level 1 being very specific. It needs this much health to be worth it. I wouldn't mess with that. I think this is reasonable. Mana is very valuable. And that's about it. And then they show some old things. Previous PTR changelog. So it seems like all of these are still active. I thought they reverted this one. Well, we're gonna do a full review when the whole thing is live. I think most of these are now active. We're gonna do a full review and check the global changes. Which ones are active, which one are not. Because this has been deleted already as well. So yeah, they didn't update the whole log. Yeah, okay. Are we gonna see a new meta of mirror images against Demon Hunter with Immolation? Wait and see. All ladder ranks will be reset. I hope they're gonna fix 4-on-4 and 1-on-1 and the ladder leaderboards on BNet and everything, because it's not working very well. The stats are all messed up. There's reporting of people with millions of games, which is of course impossible. The final iteration, let's see. What was the cadence that they were showing patch updates previously? When were there other posts? I'm not sure exactly when, but I feel like we've had news every 1 or 2 weeks. So extrapolating that, it would mean that in 1 or 2 weeks it will go live. So I'm guessing something like 19 or 26 January. 1 week ago was the last, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if it was like Wednesday next week. Like 19th or 18th. Or the week after. Alright, should be pretty fun. Some new fresh air. And if they keep up the same attention to listening to the community and iterating, gauging response, and when it's actually live on the main game, then we're gonna really get some data, some telemetry. Hopefully they get their telemetry working, which basically means they're checking what people are playing, they're checking at every level who's winning with what after people have had some time with it. I think they should give it like a couple of weeks to see how it's going. Should be fun. Should be fun. Alright, see you guys next. Yo guys, I just checked a small little data mining update that has some extra information compared to the PTR. Mortar team, same as we just read, right? But they're a little clearer than the patch notes. So apparently the entangle duration is going to go from 8:16:24 to 9:17:25. Historically in patch 134, which is live now, it was 9:18:30. What that means is that the total result is going to be 1 second down for level 2 and 5 seconds down for level 3, while keeping level 1 the same, which addresses a concern that Savork has had, that level 1 will be too weak if you lower it. It's going to be the same, but the 2 and 3 are going to be a little weaker, which I think is a good change. Demon Hunter Immolation activation mana cost reduced from 25 to 20, so not from 35 to 30, 25 to 20, which I think is fine and fair. Then the Blade Master mirror image, we get a little bit more information about how much XP it gives. It's based on the blade's level. 12 when he is level 1, 20 when he's level 2, 30 when he's level 3, 42 when he's level 4, 57 when he's 5, and 75 when he's 6. Seems like quite a lot of XP, but I guess they do get stronger. I think it's quite a lot of XP, but every XP for summons changes. I'm not sure it ever reaches 75 though, and then what about when he's level 7, 8, 9, 10? But overall, if it is going to do what it says it is, which is 15% damage on his agility damage, and then it ignores white damage, except when it crits, and then it does use white damage, like claws and stuff, then they're going to do pretty decent amount of damage. And so I think it could be okay. It could be okay. Lich Frost Nova damage cap removed, same as PTR 3, so now we are going to be in PTR 4. And the Dark Ritual, 25 to 20. Yeah, the rest checks out. So this is a little bit of extra from the data mining. We don't know exactly what's going to be the final version, but this helps kind of give us an idea about where they're thinking of going with the mirror image XP. Exciting stuff. Excited to try it out.